Confirming the date this week, both Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden will be coming to new platforms on January 19th, 2023. This will be for Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 and PC. The Steam version of Persona 4 Golden is already available. Atlus revealed these JRPG gems would be coming to the modern platforms during the live event Persona Super Live 2022, P-Sound Wish 2022, Cross Journey, which was held over last weekend. These new ports will give players a new way to experience the game on consoles. Persona 3 Portable has a new option for gender which will not only change the appearance of the main character but will also adjust some of the story and social links as well. An adjusted battle system now allows for players to control all characters and new difficulty levels have been added. As for Persona 4 Golden, it has also got some new features, social links, music, story elements and dungeons. Both titles, Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden, will be available on day one for Xbox Game Pass. The games are heading to new consoles on the same day as well. As with all news in this video, you can find the link in the description below. Featured in the latest video for Marvel's Midnight Suns is gameplay for the half-human, half-vampire hero Blade. Right off the bat, we're introduced to Blade's main ability, Bleed. Slicing and dicing his enemies causes them to take bleed damage every turn. Turning up the pain, Blade has a few abilities that will increase the damage by chaining the moves together. Also previewed is a dialogue scene with a very stoic Blade and a few conversation choice options. Here the Hunter, which is the main character players will take on, is having a fireside chat with the sword wielder. But getting to know characters in-game is not only story related, they can also unlock further benefits in battle. For example, as Blade levels up, he gains a 10% bleed increase at level 1. Marvel's Midnight Suns will release on December 2nd for PC, Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. The long-running MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV has hit another major milestone of 27 million players now registered. This news was announced during the latest letter from the producer livestream, which featured producer and director Naoki Yoshida. In the same livestream, it was also revealed that FanFest 2023 and 2024 will return as an in-person event. Last year's digital FanFest could not be held as a physical event, but it looks like things are returning to normalcy as of next year. Last year's FanFest was completely digital, having only one main event which featured the Endwalker expansion. Yoshida himself shared that it wouldn't be right to hold a FanFest without something substantial, so we plan to make this event one that's filled with surprises. It's not long until Gotham Knights will be punching its way to RPG fans, and the latest trailer introduces the heroes. The footage shows Batgirl, Red Hood, Nightwing and Robin, 4 heroes taking up the mantle as superheroes after the death of Batman. Echoing throughout the trailer are names that these heroes often get called, weighing in on their insecurities of being called just a sidekick. But it turns out that Alfred is just giving them a pep talk and he has other plans for them. He explains, like himself, Master Bruce saw more in them. While Batman is gone, his legacy will live on in these newer, shiny heroes. But they've got big bat boots to fill as they step into the night, the tagline that ends the trailer. In case you missed it, the open world title is being developed by the studio Warner Bros. Game in Montreal, the same studio behind the Batman Arkham Origins, but it's set in a different universe to Arkham. Gotham Knights will be released on October 21st for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The new Firesong DLC for The Elder Scrolls Online drops next month and will be adding a further patron to the in-game card game Tales of Tribute, called the Druid King. This new deck sets to shake things up by summoning a powerful chimera by using combos and a new mechanic. Each deck in Tales of Tribute has its strengths and the Druid's is through its nature magic. So how exactly do you acquire the Druid King deck? Like in many decks in the Tales of Tribute minigame, you can find fragments around the High Isle chapter. This means exploring delves, taking part in volcanic vents, which are like world events, and other activities in the MMORPG. Summoning a Great Chimera and being able to cycle cards out from the tavern, which are cards placed in the middle of the table, are just a couple of ways the Druid King will influence the game. There's also a new mechanic called Wild in Play. This new mechanic will be similar to the combos that are in effect, but instead focuses on the actions players perform. If you're itching to get into the new deck and you want to check it out before it releases, you can check out the PTS, which is currently live with update 36. Players will need both the Firesong DLC and the High Isle chapter in order to get this new deck in game, but great news for those who already own High Isle, as the community goal was already met, meaning you can claim the DLC for free until October 21st. Firesong arrives alongside Update 36 on November 1st for PC, and then it will come later on November 15th for consoles. It seems the Cyberpunk 2077 universe is expanding following the success of the recent release of the Netflix series Cyberpunk Edgerunners. CD Projekt Red have announced another adaptation is coming in the form of Cyberpunk 2077 No Coincidence, a novel set in Night City, to be released on August 8, 2023. The novel will be published by Orbit Books and is written by Rafal Kosick. Kosick also worked on Cyberpunk Edgerunners as a screenwriter and is best known for their young adult sci-fi series. According to business developer director at CD Projekt Red, Jan Rosner, the novel will provide another great opportunity to dive deeper and explore what Night City has to offer. Cyberpunk 2077 seems to be on the up as the title recently celebrated its 20 million players worldwide milestone. The next expansion, Phantom Liberty, will be releasing in 2023, and plans for a sequel are already in the works. The Q&A video series focusing on the upcoming RPG Starfield has been divulging details about the game. In the most recent, Todd Howard talked about inspirations, traits, dialogue, and described the title as a hard sci-fi game. Starfield has a few inspirations, being the 1984 space sim Sundog Frozen Legacy, as well as the pen and paper RPG Traveller. Most interestingly, Howard has defined the game as a hard sci-fi. But what exactly does that mean? He shared that it's about how man explored space, and because there are dangers of space such as meeting your demise to space cold, this is what this type of genre is about. As for traits, Howard expressed that they'll be fun, and while they'll have some sort of negative effects as well, they can be countered by doing a certain activity or quest in-game to get rid of them. Be prepared to experience a lengthy narrative, as Bethesda has teased that there are 250,000 lines of dialogue so far, which is over double that of Fallout 4. Ahead of its Steam beta, the First Descendant has got a new cinematic trailer this week introducing the shooter-looter. The footage shows a superhero-type narrative of a story of two worlds. Humans were invaded by alien beings called Volgas, who ended up taking over. Enter the heroes of the story, the Descendants. Blessed with the ancestors' power, the people could then fight back. However, a new threat emerges, the leader of the bad guys, called Corel. It's up to the Descendants to stop him and his dangerous ambition. From the stunning trailer, it looks like the Descendants will have more to wield than just firepower. Previously, developer Nexon Games looked at some of the different Descendants and their unique abilities. Players will team up with up to 4 players in co-op, choosing from pre-made characters. The open beta test is fast approaching, starting on October 20th, running until October 26th on Steam, so players will get a whole 6 days to check out the game. Be sure to head to the Steam page in order to request access for the beta. Well, that's it for the Week in the Wikis. Please join us again next week for yet another great week of gaming. Remember to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits. And budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks again for being part of this great community. Keep checking in with us with news, reviews, YouTube streams and vids, and general wiki goodness.